Welcome to Module 2. Upon completion of this module, the learner will be able to differentiate the roles and responsibilities of each field practicum participant. The field practicum placement is comprised of 4 primary roles, all of which impact the student's overall field practicum experience. The 4 primary roles include the student, the field practicum supervisor, the field practicum office, and the field practicum faculty liaison. Let's take a closer look at each of their responsibilities. The Bachelor of Science in Social Work, or BSSW student, is a student in our undergraduate program. The MSW Generalist or Foundation student is a student who has a bachelor's degree in another field, such as psychology or sociology, and is returning to obtain their master's degree in social work. Both the BSSW and the MSW Generalist level student complete a generalist field practicum, where the emphasis is on case management and social work. Advanced Generalist MSW students take a mix of core required courses where the emphasis is on clinical and advanced generalist content. The student has responsibilities to both the agency and the UNO Grace Abbott School of Social Work to conduct themselves in a professional manner at all times. They are representing the agency and the school simultaneously. Students are responsible for completing the learning contract within the first 2 weeks of beginning their field practicum, but we encourage assistance from supervisors. Students must be prepared for weekly supervisory sessions with their educational supervisor and utilize these sessions to facilitate their learning experience, integrating social work theory into practice. Students are also responsible for keeping track of their field practicum hours and letting their supervisors and the field practicum office know when it is time for visits or evaluations to be completed. The agency and the field practicum supervisors have the responsibility to provide the student with a setting that is conducive to their learning experience, free from any biases or discrimination. The field practicum supervisor is responsible for providing proper qualified supervision on a regular weekly basis. Supervision topics may vary depending on the student, the supervisor, and the agency. However, we believe the most important part of the student's initial field practicum experience is a thorough orientation to the agency. This should cover introducing the student to colleagues, agency policy and procedures, including safety protocols, and informing staff members of the student's role. Field practicum supervisors are responsible for completing a non-graded student evaluation at 130 hours and a graded evaluation at 256 hours and 512 hours. At the end of the student's placement, supervisors will have an opportunity to provide feedback to the field practicum office about their experience. There are 2 types of field practicum supervisors. The educational supervisor must be a social worker and is responsible for holding supervisory sessions with the student for a minimum of 1 hour per week to discuss and assist the student in incorporating social work theory into practice. If the student is at the BSSW level, then the educational supervisor must be either a MSW or a LCSW. If the student is at the MSW level, then the educational supervisor must be licensed as a clinical social worker in Nebraska or a licensed independent social worker in Iowa. Educational supervisors must have a minimum of 2 years of social work experience post-social work degree. The educational supervisor is responsible for assisting the student in formulating the learning contract and connecting theory into practice, as well as evaluating the student throughout their placement. The second type of field practicum supervisor is the task supervisor. The task supervisor does not need to be a social worker, but must be someone who knows the job well and is willing to mentor and guide the student on the day-to-day tasks and activities at the agency. The task supervisor is not responsible for the primary evaluation of the student, but is encouraged to consult with the educational supervisor regularly regarding the student's professional conduct, participation, understanding of agency policies and procedures, as well as the student's skill level. Task supervisors are not required if the educational supervisor is on site. If the educational supervisor is off-site, then students must have a task supervisor. The field practicum office has the responsibility to partner with community agencies in order to develop diverse field placements for students enrolled in the School of Social Work. To ensure that field practicum supervisors are adequately prepared to supervise students, the Field Practicum Office provides the Field Practicum Supervisor training for those first-time supervisors and for those who have not had a student in 3 or more years. This helps keep field practicum supervisors informed and updated regarding our field practicum program and ensures appropriate supervision of students. It is the Field Practicum Office's responsibility to work with students and agencies to facilitate a good working match and to provide a qualified field practicum faculty liaison to assist the agency, the supervisor, and the student during the field practicum experience. The Field Practicum Office will work with the agency and field practicum supervisors when the student's placement is not going well to find a resolution that works for all. The Field Practicum Fair and other Grace Abbott School of Social Work events are held yearly and are a great way for supervisors to network with one another. The Field Practicum Faculty Liaison is an individual employed by the university and serves as a resource for both students and supervisors. The Field Practicum Faculty Liaison sets up Zoom visits with the student and supervisors a minimum of 2 times while the student is in their placement. The first visit takes place at about 130 hours, and the second visit happens around 400 hours into the student's placement experience. Field Practicum Faculty Liaisons will review the student's learning contract, their progress at the agency, the evaluation procedures, and address any learning problems of the student. Field Practicum Faculty Liaisons guide and support both students and supervisors during the Field Practicum experience. Additionally, Field Practicum Faculty Liaisons facilitate the Field Practicum Seminar for BSSW and MSW generalist students who are experiencing their first social work placement.